We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Peep the program, we programmed by madmen. We bees in the trap, so in a trap we trapped in. Victimized by madness, they label us as savages. Finding salvation and salivating, sipping activists.
Hello kings and queens, I'm your host Tiana Shell, and you're tuned in with the New Black Network. And for this video, our topic of discussion today is ideologies. Now, before I continue, I first want to say these words can apply to anyone, but I'm primarily speaking to people of color. So what is an ideology? I'm glad you asked. An ideology is a set of opinions or beliefs of a group or an individual. Very often, an ideology refers to a set of political beliefs or a set of ideas that characterize a particular culture. Okay, so now that you know that, let me ask you all this. When you look at yourselves in the mirror, what is it that you see? Is it a gangster, a trap queen, a real nigga, or a bad bitch? I mean, what is it that you answer to? Most people today could just look at the media and see that many images that are projected of our community are primarily negative. And while I'm not trying to further segregate those in our community, we should address the impact that it has on our people, as well as the effects it has on our ideologies and how we see ourselves. For example, movies that portray the black woman as being irrational, or songs that portray the black man as being misogynistic. And institutions that help further perpetuate both are some of the reasons we should address this issue. There's also the shortcomings in the educational system that unintentionally exclude our contributions, giving us the impression that there's no place for us in this society. Black women are strong, but majority of the images that you see on television are of us being confused, angry, and loose. Like in a music video, you see black women always naked and shaking their ass. And when it comes to celebrities, all they promote are their sexuality. There's so many positive things taking place for black women in today's time, but they're not showing it on television. And the issue with the media and the black man is that for a long time, they have portrayed them as being gangsters, thugs, and dope dealers. And over the years, it seems like many of our black men has bought into this idea as being the Dolomite, the Trap King, and the Superfly. And is now projecting it into their music and their behavior throughout our communities. So each generation that passed, we have young black men emulating this behavior and becoming less responsible and less accountable for what happens throughout their community. And as a result of this, you see an increased levels of disrespect to the black woman. Who gave birth to the black man, might I mention? Increase on black crime like gun and domestic violence, and even selling drugs, which further destroys our communities. Black man, you are a king. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Don't believe any different about yourself. You are meant to be great. And what about the institutions, such as the judicial system and educational system, which work hand in hand with the media to foster this image of the black man as being a misogynistic criminal, one that hates women but loves to commit crime? So the question here is, how do we turn this around when the media further reinforces these images of misogynistic criminal behavior by the black man to the black community? Or how do we stop them from selling these images of irrationality, such as the Bad Girls Club and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, that degrades the black woman? When there's millions of dollars put into the production and the broadcasting of these shows, and even more money spent on advertising, it's hard to break the cycle and to lessen the effects of all of these negative impacts. But the answer is simple. Read a book. Nah. No, for real. Read a book. Seriously, if you think you can't turn off the TV, at least be more mindful of the programs that your family watch. You don't always have control over what happens on the outside of your house, but you do have control over what happens on the inside. People, this is programming. People are being programmed to buy into these images and start to emulate this behavior. Many of the ideologies that the black community have of themselves today are manufactured by program directors, editors-in-chiefs, and advertising executives who use these images to sell products such as movies, songs, and magazines. And while we buy into these images and destroy ourselves as well as our communities, they profit from our demise. So once again, the key to us changing our ideologies and how we see ourselves is to stop letting them tell us who we are and who we're supposed to be. Look, all I'm saying is, when they teach us that we were nothing but slaves living in America, how can we value that? We must first respect each other in order to survive. But most of all, we must identify ourselves as who we are and what we answer to. And for the people who are listening out there, we no longer want what's equal. We want what's fair, and we want acknowledgement for all species to live in happiness and in harmony. And this right here is for all of my listeners and my viewers. We have to start seeing ourselves as something greater than as a part of our neighborhood, the shade of our skin, our religion, our sexual orientation. It's time we start seeing ourselves as part of the global experience. Well, that's all for today, my new Black Network people. I'm your host, Tiana Shell. Thank you for tuning in again. And please like us on Facebook. Follow our Twitter, Instagram. It's all in the description below. And remember, stay beautiful, stay proud, stay black.